remember when I was a little girl. I don't remember where I was. And I can't still remember exactly where I was when my grandma was talking about the Underground Railroad. And she made an interesting comment because I remember this, but I don't remember exactly where I was with her. I just remember it happened, I think, between late elementary to early middle school. Okay. In which she told me, again, based on the Underground Railroad, if you ever leave the United States, go to Canada because it'll be different for you in Canada being black. Or something about Canada knows how to take care of black people. Now, to put yourself in that mind frame, my grandmother lived from 1938 to 2022. Therefore, she grew up with an understanding of Canada that bordered on a romanticization of a time in history. This is a woman you have to remember that her grandfather, not great grandfather, her grandfather lived to be 104 years old and was spent a significant amount of his time in slavery and likely sharecropping. So that's where my grandma's naivete of Canada comes from. Because I took a course on Coursera, and it seems to me that Canada sanitizes its racism and to some degree, and I might offend some Canadians, and that's not an intent. Some degree, all aspects of your racism, some people sanitize it and make it as if it's less of an issue than the United States. I could be wrong. We talk about it a lot here. And it's in the fabric of things to happen because every now and again, or I won't say it's becoming more frequent, something will show up to remind us all that we still got a little ways to go. Got to remember, slavery in this country ended less than 200 years ago. Jim Crow ended less than 100 years ago. So there's a little more to be done. Okay. We can argue that people have it better. I just want to tell that quick anecdotal story before I move on. I guess this is what happens. Imagine you are a cop in Toronto. You're black nonetheless, and you're a female. And you move up the ranks, I guess pretty quickly. You're a 26-year veteran, likely when you got caught up in a cheating scandal. You finally make it to one, or I think the highest rank. Y'all can correct me if you're Canadian. You make it up to the rank of superintendent. And when you get up to that rank, you decide you're going to mentor 6 officers. Those 6 officers you decided you were going to help are your skin color. Now, that's what I took from this article. Somebody from Canada or Toronto that knows what really happened can correct me. You decided that 6 black constables who you were going to mentor meant so much to you after you worked so hard to get that rank at what seems to be a single mother of 2 teens, because they don't specify whether she has a husband. So because they don't say yay or nay, I don't want to make that specification on her personal life because it doesn't bear in the story anyway. She just mentioned that she wanted to spend a little more time with her children now that she lost the rank. Okay. So you made it up to the rank of superintendent and you are mentoring, let me put in quotation marks, mentoring 6 black constables. Does not say their gender. It just doesn't even give their name, unlike hers. And I'm not going to give her name either. You can go read the article if you like. By the way, the image used in the beginning is not her. That's just an in general image that I pulled because the police up in Canada, you have different uniforms. But imagine that the tests they have to take or the interviews, you photograph the information to give them the answers to what they have to pass. And not only that, you spend time with them, coaching them on what to say in their interviews as they're also trying to enhance their own careers. Somehow the scandal gets found out, or it gets out that you helped them, and you're taken before a tribunal. That's what they call it. I know that sounds strange to us because I don't believe we use that type of language, tribunal in the courts in the United States. But again, someone who's a professional at law can correct me. Somehow it's been found out that that's what you've done during some type of investigation. And during this tribunal, you get to keep your job, but you're going to be knocked down from rank of superintendent to inspector. You are allowed to reapply for superintendent after 24 months. But the rank is no longer given to you automatically. You have to apply. Moral of the story from what I took from this, I guess she decided that what we call diversity, equity, inclusion in the United States, she was just going to take it in her own hands and help her people becomes high ranking them's po as well. And her excuse was the anti-black systemic racism. And see, this is where that childhood story I tell you comes handy. I'm not going to say so much because I watch YouTube videos. Again, I took a course on Coursera and how the native populations, they're the first peoples. That's the term they use. And their bands, which we call tribes here in the United States, have been treated in Canada. That class opened my eyes as a Black American in the United States. If this is happening to them in Canada, what's happening to other people of color in Canada? Now, let me go ahead and say this because people will think that I'm on this woman's side, and I'm not. It's not a good look, regardless of your skin color, to be helping people, coaching people, and helping people get by with stuff, because the optics mean you were gonna get caught. 6 black constables. How do you get around that? Because not only have you been knocked down in rank, fortunately you got to keep your job. This is the United States. If you did this in the United States, sis, but you in Canada, y'all do things differently. Y'all got a little more forgiveness than anyone else. Your career in law enforcement would be it'd be over with. Because if we catch you in the United States, it's over. But again, this ain't the United States. Not only did you sit there and jeopardize something you worked hard for, those 6 people that cheated are going to have to pay consequences too. And look, let's not act like we're all innocent here. At some points, everybody done something they ain't got no business doing. I just found it astounding that in Toronto, unlike here in the States, they actually allowed her to still keep on the uniform and still be a cop. But I've also heard, and I've only heard, and I don't have firsthand information about specific cases, that Toronto is a racist city. I don't know this. I'm not Canadian. Don't come at me. I'm just saying that it gets around that Toronto has its struggles with race. So there could be some truth in the fact that she decided to help them simply because she saw what she saw was a lack of black officers to assist the black community. And for the most part, the black community in that general area are backing her and saying, and it declared that she had better not get no harsh punishment. Again, Canada has this racism. I'm aware of Africville. Africville, if you don't know, is the Tulsa, Oklahoma of Canada. So if you wanna see those parallels, just like Viola Desmond, to them is the Rosa Parks to us. Me personally, I ain't gonna get that high up and help nobody do nothing stupid that can come back to get me. I don't care what your skin color, but that's just me. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all's opinion. I'm neither condoning nor condemning because I'm not Canadian and I don't understand it, right? But I mean, she understood the assignment when it comes to her own people. She seriously rehearsed helping them move up. 26-year veteran. That's like nearly 3 decades. And you could have jeopardized that because theoretically, in any other case, they could have fired you, boo-boo. Them's po-po is gangster up there. I mean, you took diversity, equity, inclusion to a level that I don't know any too many cases of that here in the States. Not that y'all practice DEI. I'm just being a little facetious right now. Only a 2-year demotion and you can apply again in 2 years. Again, my story I told from my grandma was a true story. It was anecdotal. And of course, those generations are going to push on you things that they wish could happen for you because it didn't happen for them. I miss my grandma. But I don't share in her view that there is practically no racism in Canada. I understood her naive view based in the lens of the Underground Railroad and escaping to the quotations free land. Because what we see as free can be very skewed. And I'm sure in my comment section, some people will say, no, she should have gotten a severe punishment up to firing. And other people will say, no, she did the Lord's work. I'm just giving the story and what I think could have happened. Again, I need to study Africville. I know there are books out there because I love studying the history of the black diaspora. I love history in general. It's just fascinating how you can put together things in the past and bring it to the present. Because things come in cycles, you know. Would anyone here risk their career to help someone when you got to that higher level and you know the scrutiny is there? I'm just curious. It's just a curious question. Tell me what y'all think about this story.